What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys. Well, this little land teaser, land white paper kind of alpha that was dropped by Aggie on Sunday morning is something that I thought I would not be able to cover here on the channel because I'm recording this video on Tuesday night and I thought the white paper was going to be out well before that. And like I said, I was traveling over the weekend, so this came out Sunday morning. I think Aggie was saying they were going to shoot to have the white paper out on Monday, but since they haven't gotten it out yet and it is Tuesday night, I don't think they're going to post anything right now between the time that I finish recording this and hopefully get it posted. Makes me think that we might be in a good place for me to do some speculation on whatever there is, excuse me, whatever there is in this alpha. So really all we have is the table of contents, but we can get an idea of what to expect overall. I would say that phase 1 surveying, this seems rather, we'll just go line by line. So this seems, phase 1 surveying seems rather basic, land deeds, claiming. We're already starting to do that. Surveying is going to be what comes next. So there might be some interesting details there, maybe like the overall breakdown and rarities and all that. And then the starter packages, we already have that information in the proposal that came out, so this might just be a rehash of that. So I'm not, I don't think there's going to be anything too crazy there. But phase 1.5 initial specification, I'm not sure what's included there. I would assume it's just a quick outline of like what they're going to try and accomplish, which they've talked about at length. So again, I don't think that this is anything in terms of like new information. This might just be a place where they've organized that, where it's going to be, they're trying to create this kind of halfway phase, or obviously 1.5, where you won't be able to do full resource construction, but you'll be able to stake monsters, stake DEC on your land. There'll probably be some element of SPS that you'll have to work for, and because right now if you have land, you're just getting it for free. So hopefully there'll be a switch that comes to that, and then any other things that they're planning to introduce for that phase 1.5. And I think the time frame that they're trying to do is for the end of Q2. So there's about 3 months now, and I don't know if they're going to put that in there, but that would be the information I would expect. Let's see here. So now we have the cards and DEC staking. So there's something interesting here. We knew that there was going to be staking of cards. We knew that there's going to be staking of DEC. I think the alpha that Matt dropped on a recent town hall, not the most recent one, but in one maybe a couple of weeks back, was the idea that you would need to spend, or sorry, not spend, but stake 10,000 DEC per monster, per maxed level monster on your plot, up to 5, monsters. So that's like 50,000 DEC. Now, I don't know if they're going to stick with that. I mean, Matt said that was the idea, but maybe we'll get more information on like, what if you don't have a max level monster? Is it going to be prorated, or is it going to be like, 5,000 for non-max, 10,000 for max? I mean, I'm sure there'll be something, complicated there, but it should be interesting. We'll see what they have there. Staking of cards. The only thing that I can think of right now is they said that you won't be required to stake a summoner, for example. Like, I think many people thought a long time ago you'd have to stake a summoner of a certain splinter, and then you could only do like neutral monsters and monsters of that splinter. But that's not the case, so I'm not sure what staking of cards will be, but we'll probably have some information. Actually, no, I think the production information is going to be lower. So the only thing here that's interesting is the power sources. So there's not been any mention of power sources in the starter packages, and I don't know what, there's mana that's kind of like within, heavy within the lore of the game. So I don't know if there's going to be something that's like mana related, or that you'll need to do something like with maybe the mana of the monsters, or like maybe depending on like the power source that you get, it can handle like up to a certain mana. I don't know, but the cards and DEC staking, the fact that it's under there makes me wonder what exactly it's going to be. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at for power sources. I think Aggie mentioned something in the town hall about Rooney and power sources, so there could be some benefits to Rooney there, and you can actually see, let's see, nope, that's it. So power sources. Let's see here. So then if you go further down, you have the production points, and I'm assuming that this is probably just going to be a breakdown on like how much you produce. Now, what I hope that they do is they don't make it like overly complicated. Like I don't know. my thought process the entire time was that it's going to be CP based, right? But it seems as though they're trying to phase CP out of the mix here. So my guess is that CP will still be relevant to a certain extent, but we just don't, whether there's going to be, benefits, like additional benefits for like older editions, alpha, beta, untamed or not. We'll have to wait and see. But my thought is that's probably an easy way to do it is if you just keep the CP. But I would assume that, like the CP for Untamed is kind of like, is not kind of, but is exactly 2x that of Chaos Legion. And then I haven't really calculated what like beta and alpha are compared to Chaos Legion. But obviously most of the cards that are going to be on land are going to be Chaos Legion cards. So we'll probably get a breakdown there. The terrain preferences is something interesting. We did get a little bit of an alpha drop from Matt on that town hall where he talked about, certain land types are going to be favorable for certain monsters or certain elements and maybe unfavorable for other elements. So I would assume we're going to see what exactly those benefits or, detractions are and which ones they align with, like which elements versus the terrain types. Production boosts, I'm not sure what that is. My guess, I'm trying to think of like production boosts. Like maybe they'll talk about like gold foil stuff there. Maybe totems and titles. Like that's always been talked about as something that can give a production boost. But I would say, yeah, gold foil stuff. Maybe they'll talk about some of the other like older editions there too. So I don't know. And then calculation examples, it looks like they're just trying to help people work through the math, which makes me feel like the math is going to be complicated. But I think it'll be, it's not going to be something that you'll have to calculate ahead of time. I wonder if like you can just here's the thing. If you're going to put monsters in and you're going to have to stake, 10,000 DEC every single time you do it, it's going to be quite taxing on your resource credits. So like put someone in, see what kind of value they give, and then take them out, and then put someone else in, see what kind of value they take out. So maybe there'll be a way that like you'll be able to see it ahead of time so that you're not having to do actual transactions on the blockchain. But I don't know. That's just a quick thought there. Now, resource production. This is cool. So food is going to be something. Now, I was just thinking initially, right, it's just going to be SPS. And I think SPS is going to be a big part of it. But there's another part here where it says worker options. And I'm not sure what that is like related to. But my guess is that like you can probably do food and SPS or something like that, right? Like maybe you'll have like the choice to do choice to choose what your workers are going for. So obviously food is going to be something important, but I still think SPS is going to be the main thing everybody goes for. It just seems like that pool is going to be so large that's being given out for free to all these plots right now. But if you have to work for it, well, then it's gonna like, that pool, the amount of people dipping into that pool is going to shrink down dramatically because how many lands are actually active instead of just kind of sitting there in game getting passive income. So I don't know. And how, like, if there's going to be like food there available too, then if you have to do half food and half SPS, and all of a sudden your SPS from those drops could potentially jump up like 2x, which would be awesome. So I'm looking forward to that. And I have 2 plots, so maybe I'll split it up and see how it goes. Clearing plots. Aggie mentioned something about this on the town hall. I don't know what exactly the focus is for that, but I guess before you can have buildings, you got to clear the plots. So I don't think that this is the like occupied territories, right? We'll probably get more information on occupied territories, but I think that there's going to be something on every territory is what Aggie was saying in the town hall. There's totem fragments here. So actually, you know what? Never mind. Maybe on the production boost, they're not going to talk about totems. So totem fragments are down here. They also talk about time crystals. That is part of the overall land starter packages. So maybe they'll have additional information rehashed there. I don't know what harvesting is, but then we also have the castles and keeps. So we got a little bit of a preview of what that would be like for castles and keeps on one of the recent town halls with Matt, where he talked about essentially it's just going to be passive income. They're going to be collecting fees and such that happen within the transactions for the overall ecosystem or within like the region, of that area or the tract when it comes to keeps. So my guess is we get a little bit more information on what that actually looks like. Maybe we get like the levels, right? I don't know if you'll be able to like level up buildings or anything just yet, but That could be something for castles and keeps. I don't think with my 2 plots. I don't think I'm gonna have a castle or a keep. If I do, that'd be freaking awesome. My RNG would be insane. But as of now, no, I probably won't. So then getting into the miscellaneous section, we have the internal market, which makes me think that there's gonna be something. Because it looks like there's a resource when it comes to food. So I wonder if there's going to be like actual land market. Transportation and bridging. This was already teased a little bit with Matt kind of saying like there's going to be a fee to like do stuff or send stuff from like one, I think, territory to another. It might be region, but I think it's one territory to another. And then there's also going to be a fee if you want to like take it out of the game onto Hive Engine. So Hive Engine is going to have all of the resources as well. So again, I don't know if that's going to be active in this in 1.5, but obviously they're going to let us know what that would look like. And what maybe this is more like a long-term plan for the transportation and bridging, but we do know that the team intends on having there be fees if you go outside of the different territories, or if you decide to go off the continent completely, which would be Hive Engine. And then prefix titles. So I'm excited about that. I don't know if you guys voted. They had 2 different types, like kind of a more traditional one and then a new age one. And I have no idea what one. I need to go back and check. But I'm curious to know if there's going to be like certain benefits on the prefix titles. If there's going to be like limits on the prefix titles is another one too. Like if you achieve a certain thing, you'll be like Lord Aftersound or something once you like accomplish a certain like level. But I don't know what the prefix titles will necessarily entail. We just know that they want to do cool stuff with it. So hopefully that's what that will be about. So this is all speculation. Looking back at this now, I mean, I'm excited because I've just been staring at this and trying to figure out like, okay, well, what could we gather from it? But for the most part, I actually think Matt and team have done a pretty good job of giving us quite a bit of information ahead of time. And obviously we'll get all the details soon. So that's my quick speculation on this. It seems relatively straightforward. There's nothing on here outside of maybe just the power sources that hasn't been discussed in a previous. Power sources, clearing plots, worker options, I suppose, and then harvesting. I would say those we haven't really heard much about. So hopefully once this white paper is actually out and in circulation, we'll be doing a deep dive there. So I'm curious to know if you looked at this and if you looked at this on Sunday or just looked at it with me now, what are your thoughts? What are you thinking? Is there anything you're planning to do between now and whenever the white paper actually comes out to try and get ahead of the game? Let's discuss in the comments. All right, I'll catch you guys in the next video and see you around the game. Take care.